Hello, Clinton County, Wilmington, Ohio, 45177. It's been a minute. I know. Uh, been doing lots of TikToks, and I'm going to start at some point reposting those here on this format because some of you viewers uh, don't do TikTok, but I have found that it gets I've reached um, a lot of people. My apologies to you here on this platform. I don't know if any of you sit around and wait for me to upload it. Probably not, and that's okay. I mean, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here for pure documentation. So, as the title states, let the conflicts begin. So, let's first talk about conflicts of interest. So, I now know that there are several. I mean, this entire this entire process uh, concerning concerning my this bank case was is nothing but a gigantic fucking conflict. That's what it is. Number one, the first conflict. Judge John Tim Ruddick should have conflicted himself out. Why? Well, who is his son's self-admitted? I mean, these guys get on social media and they love each other all day long in every post. Well, that'd be Christy George Underwood. The name George. Andrew P. George is whom? Well, that is the bank title office. He's a lawyer. Okay, so could there be a conflict? Yes, absolutely. Um, is that the only No, it's not. It's most definitely not. There's judicial friendships. I mean, lawyer friendships. So he should have conflicted himself out. My own lawyer should have conflicted himself out. And then who does that leave? Well, that leaves Paul Revelson of Herdman, Sesta, and Revelson, who eventually should have, or even yes, he has been the one. No, I believe it was Sesta, maybe on the original. But all of these people were board members of the bank. You can't have dual roles. You can't have dual roles. Paul Revelson plays a dual role, according to public records. He is both a on the board of the bank and he is the lawyer. Can't do that. So there's that. Not to mention the claim from from the OCC and what I was have always been claiming. Mister the ferret popped on and said, "Oh, you can't tell me. I don't see your case." Hey, dumbass! Unsafe practices. What falls under unsafe practices, Mister Ruddick? I'll wait. But I maintained my composure. I maintained my discipline because, again, I would tell him now, as I told him then, don't spend all your fucking money. You're going to need it. You're going to need it because what's being filed is absolutely positively going to gain the attention that this should have gained a long time ago. Because the dynamics of what these motherfuckers have done. So we'll do a rundown first. Let's do a rundown. So I figure out. I didn't figure out. I was told, and I'm going to keep in mind. And I hate to bring up the dead, but Judge Mike Daugherty, whom Mr. Ruddick, Judge Ruddick stated, who he was good buddies with. Let me explain something to you, dipshit. What you say and what Mr. Daugherty spoke to me in church is two different things. Brett Ruddick was not a favorite of his. I don't give a shit what you say or what you think. Let me explain to you what was conveyed to me in the house of God. No, there was anything but. So it was probably forced respect. One of those things. Where you're like, yeah, fuck, I got to go like this guy. Probably one of those things. That's about the extent of that. That's what I would gather, and another individual that was partaking in those conversations. So, he had stated to me, hey, Tony, what they did to you is jacked. Keep going, never stop. I can't do anything about it because I'm this. But yes, he could have. I'm not going to get into that right now. I got into it once. I'm not going to do it again. But not only that, there's been another lawyer or two that has been giving me snippets here of what they did and how, hey, keep doing this, keep doing that. One of them being a Lebanon lawyer, Mr. Dave Ernst. That guy sort of pumped me up and then totally fucking abandoned me because probably out of fear. I don't know. But there's some communications out there that's going to become a part of this case, and that's okay. But there was a point where he just completely clammed up. He said he gave me advice to request the file. I did that, and then that kept things alive. So I thank you for that, sir. So there was no promises for anything after that, But if you're going to help me out a little bit, help me out a little bit. Enza Johnson, came to my house. Anybody want to see the video on that? I've got that as well. I've got cameras all the way around my house. She helped me a great deal. She looked at it and said, "You got railroaded, Tony." And she's right. I will tell you now, Enz is one of the brightest, I have found around here, and that's and with integrity. But people like that don't survive around here. You have to be a fucking dirtbag, a scumbag, like Brett Ruddick, like his dad, Brian Scheidecker, Nick Evelyn, fucking scumbags. Political snake in the ground fucking scumbags. That's my opinion. And before this is over, it's going to get proven in a fucking court of law. Minus Mr. Evelyn, he has nothing to do with this. I just seen what he did to Mr. Jack Coates in that arbitration, and that just took me next level pissed. And then I remembered what he stated. I'm going to get into anything, but I'm going to keep going. So I start digging in because when these people tell me what happened to me, I just start digging and digging and digging and digging. I went here, I went there, I went down a few rabbit holes, but now I'm beyond fucking focused. I'm beyond focused, and that should worry every one of you motherfuckers, because now I'm dialed in. Now I'm mission oriented, and I'm fucking focused. You should worry from a legal standpoint. There's no threats here. No threats. Oh, he threatened me. Hey, we'll get another CSPO on that guy. He said this. Fuck you. Fuck you, you criminal bastards. Fuck you. So, going forward, I start digging and digging and digging, and finally, I start getting nerves, hitting some nerves. Okay, so I go to council meetings. I start reading out facts of what happened, and I passed it out to council members to view for themselves. And I emailed it. I believe I emailed it and passed it out to them before. I can't remember how it went, but I showed them factually what this judge did. What would happen after that? The law director, and bear in mind, I'd not had any conversations with this fucktard prior to this. I had none, no communications whatsoever. I knew who he was, didn't give a fuck. I don't care. I didn't care. But what transpired after that? Oh boy. So what did Brett Ruddick do? He calls me and starts getting into this big conversation. How dare you say these horrible things about my father? Fuck you. Whatever, dude. You're just like him. And it's going to be seen. But then during that conversation, he makes a statement. Don't make me hurt you, Tony. I said, did you just fucking threaten me? Because I took that from a physical standpoint, and we all know that's not going to fucking happen. But I that's how I took it when I kind of chuckled at it, and as did the witnesses that I had with me, because as soon as I seen who this was, bloop, speakerphone. So there's witnesses to this happening. So the conversation ended. And from there, it was sort of like this weird fucking back and forth text. There was times that this guy would contact me into 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the fucking morning, or send me. I didn't answer it, but one time I had to stop. Now, stop. He's like, you weren't there. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You weren't. He's Iraq. I'm like, no shit, I wasn't, motherfucker. No one ever said I was. No one's ever claimed that. And I will fucking caution you, motherfucker, as fucking with or claiming that I said something that I didn't, especially concerning my military service. You don't go there. Because there's a certain place you'll get, and that's where it'll stop. Trust me on that one. You've probably already found that out by now. So, or my military contracting history, company-wise, companies. So, no, that was that. But for some reason, that became a conversation. I'm like, why the fuck is this motherfucker talking about my military? What the actual fuck does that have to do with what's going on? Nothing. So what he was doing was looking at ways to attack me. But he got drunk and let it out. But good thing he bored with caution. Because had he continued that would have turned into a giant shit show for him. Giant. So, moving forward. From there, what happened? I would start getting messages and communications to and from Miss Christy George Underwood. Andrew P. George, his sister. I've misspoken, said wife. My apologies. I know I don't even want to go there. But anyway, I've misspoke. They are siblings. But who is Andrew P. George? He was a title officer and a affiliate of First National Bank. And then what else? There was messages between there. She was sending me food recipes and pictures of fishing expeditions and telling me how her personal trainer didn't have a big enough blah blah blah. Not scale. Was nothing sexual there. Nothing ever went sexual. Let me. So I'm not going to imply that because that never happened. It was there was a level of I don't know what to call it, but it was never that. But she was messaging me and being cordial, and then we find out, well, who is she? Who is Christy Georgia? Well, she's, like I said, she's best buddies with Brett Ruddick, and also related to whom? An employee of the bank. Okay, stay with me here. This is fascinating shit. It's gonna get even better too. I promise you. The dynamic of this and where this is heading. So what would she do? She would state in the presence of a magistrate Helen Rowland, and in the presence of a future judge in Greenfield, Ohio. Well, he's running, and from what I understand, he's going to get it. He's going to be the next Greenfield, Ohio judge, Judge John Judkins. From what I've gathered so far, professional dude. I think he'll, from my interactions, should make a good judge. Just from what he could be a shitbag too, down there in Greenfield, but he doesn't seem such. He doesn't know how to communicate, in my opinion, but that's okay. People, I would be better off sending fucking smoke signals to this guy or a fucking carrier pigeon. Really. I'm thinking that's the level of communications that he's on. So, she would state that those messages were to do what? Coerce me into getting arrested, to have me do something, to find a reason to get me arrested. Well, what would her best bud then succeed at sometime? Well, not too long, not too far from that. What would he succeed at doing? Arresting me, costing this city $300,000 fucking dollars. The taxpayers of Wilmington or Clinton County, Ohio, paid this man's fucking personal agenda and narrative to silence me. They paid for it. You did, ladies and gentlemen. I wouldn't be okay with that at all, especially knowing that shitbag, because he's a shitbag. He's an absolute, complete shitbag. And how that motherfucker got a license to practice law is absolutely mind-blowing. And it's disgusting at the same time. But I have a feeling people like that aren't going to last long in such a prestigious and honorable field because he lacks both. But then we find out, well, wait. After the arrest, there was a lawsuit. and yada, yada, yada. But what would Brett Ruddock then partake in? Well, he would task a confidential informant. I got to be careful about names here because because the guy was legitimately a fucking informant, and I'm going to be careful. I'm going to use caution on that one of how how I'm just going to leave that alone. But trust me, shitbag, you're going to be named. You're going to be a federal court's witness. So stand the fuck by, confidential informant. You're one of 10 John Does. So what would happen? Brett Ruddock would task this felon, this confidential informant, into attempting to sell what was alleged to be Brett Ruddock's camera containing pornography of himself and others, as Mr. Confidential Informant went on to explain. And he was trying to pander that to me. He even sent me a picture of Mandy Ruddock, and very, very revealing clothing. I was shocked. Very shocked. I would not doubt that that's probably one of the reasons she lives across the street from me now and not in his home. Well, I'm sorry, one of his mother's homes. I think she buys a home every summer or every other year. I don't know. It's their forte, whatever. But how disgusting was that? But then it went further than that. Then I'm told by a very valid individual, and I'm not going to say if it was recorded or not, there was life threats of myself and my family. So, is that what the city of Wilmington is about? Is that what Brett Ruddock is about? Is that, am I supposed to be afraid? I'm not. I'm not at all. I would say use caution there too. That's all I would say. And pay very close attention. Well, never mind. But then moving forward from that, what would we find out? So there's threats. There's misuse of a confidential informant to silence. There's an arrest. The mishandling and of taxpayer funds, paying off bullshit lawsuits that shouldn't exist. But then what do we find out? Well, we get an email proving that it was planned. I've got the mayor on recording proving it was planned. So these people conspired using taxpayer funds to strip a fucking United States Armed Forces veteran of the very rights he served to provide them. That's how you tell a scumbag from a legitimate fucking American. These people shouldn't even call themselves Americans. They fucking weaponize rights provided to them by fucking warriors to harm those warriors. I don't know if you've ever watched historical movies or not, but motherfuckers like that never, ever win in the end. Never. It's always some type of upheaval, uprisal from the people that stand up and that are sick of it, of the tyranny. I hope that doesn't happen in our country, but it's because of motherfuckers like this that it does. Motherfuckers with no honor, with no integrity, with no fucking intestinal fortitude, with no fucking idea of what it's like to be accountable even for themselves. How fucking disgusting is this? It's fucking irreprehensible. It's foul. And there's people in this fucking community that enable that garbage. Mayor fucking Haley, you scumbag. I hope you watch. I hope you hear me. You are a fucking scumbag. I had deputies tell me today, they fucking disliked you even as a fucking sheriff. That's the history that you have, or the reputation that you have. That was said to me. You want to hear it? I didn't know anything about. I knew nothing about that guy. I never had a reason to know anything about the guy. But I did know that he's a damn good salesman. He's a politician from the fucking gate. Oh yes, yes. Oh, for most definitely. He's definitely a politician. Do I trust him? Fuck no. Hell no. How many lies has that man been caught in? The Wilmington Police Department has done a no trust on his ass. I think that's what it's called. They don't even trust him. No one does now. This is the same guy that stated back in the day that if they thought if they could get away with it, they would rule something that could potentially be a murder, a fucking suicide, to not have to work it. Are you telling me the law enforcement in this fucking community is that fucking lazy, or don't give a shit about fucking human beings? I don't that might have been true back in your day, sir, and the people of your kind and your age. But I can't believe that was something that you've actually, you've accused that of being our culture. No wonder these fucking cops don't trust you. And you, sir, used to be one of them. How's that feel? But then again, you fit right in. Look who you fucking hang with. The Ruddicks and the Scheidekers. The likes of those shitbags. The likes of those fucking scumbags. Period. The witness list that has been created, I'm going to tell you right now, 10 at least 3 of those John Does of the 10 listed are lawyers, active lawyers. You're either going to fucking lie to a federal court or you're going to tell the truth. And God help you if you lie, because, well, that's all I got to say. If those scumbags are worth losing your career over, so be it. I got to go. Simplify, God bless. My lovey-dovey. Hello.